Hello, everybody. I'm doing today what you call a pop-up DSM exclusive because we have some great things that are happening in April, and I have a special guest with me. So I decided we were gonna go live and find out what's going on because it's already started. I think it started April 1st. So we wanted to catch it before any more days get out of the way. We want to make sure that y'all know what's going on. So I wanted to introduce you to our guest, Leslie Vaughn. And Leslie, I want you to tell us a little bit about, I think the name of it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's a series called Finding Your Sweet Spot, Hope, Clarity, and Confidence Revealed Through God's Purpose. So I'm going to pass the mic over to you and let you tell us what this is all about.
All righty. Hi, everybody. I'm Leslie V, and I am hosting a free 21-day summit called Finding Your Sweet Spot, and it's Unlock Hope, Clarity, and Confidence Through God's Purpose. And we're having 21 different speakers on there, and I'm asking them all kind of questions about what their passions are, what they're working on now. I'm trying to find out some of their stories where they lacked hope, where they lacked clarity, and where they lacked confidence, and how they have gotten that hope, clarity, and confidence. Because I want them to give people tools, tips, and strategies so they can know that wherever they are, they can find their sweet spot.
I love it. So Leslie, tell us a little bit about how you decided to even just, start this series.
Well, it started with I was in a writing class, and I'm writing this book with the same title. And I said, I don't know but 5 people, so I can't, even sell it to anybody. And somebody was telling me about a business class, and they were talking about doing summits. And I was like, summits? And I was like, the first thing they were doing was that, to kind of let people know about topics that you're interested in and get the word out on those topics. And so I started my online summit that way. And it's so funny because that is like how the summit started. But how my whole title of even the book started was because when I was at church, I was at the regular Baptist church, and I was happy. I was like, I'm happy. I'm doing my thing. Everything is normal. ABC 1, 2, 3. And all of a sudden, I heard somebody teaching the Word of God. And when I heard them teaching the Word of God, it was like I liked it, but I wasn't going to get that where I was. And I was like in and out trying to figure out, do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? And I finally, me, my cousin, my mom, we went on a journey trying to find the space that we're supposed to be in. And when I got to certain places that were the right fit, I found out certain gifts were coming out of me that I never knew I had in me. And then certain gifts I knew were in me came out in a greater measure. And it was like, I found the sweet spot. So.
I love that. So that's how you came up with the name. I love that. I think when we first spoke, I mentioned that I love the title. So then who helped you, or was this something that just came to you where you said, I want to interview, women for the whole month of April? Because I was going to ask also, why April?
Oh, I just picked that month,
It's a great month, I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah, because you have all these good things in April.
Right.
I just picked that month, figured I'd have the 21 speakers by then. I can go live and I just want to help people, I want to help particularly the female Christians. I want them to know that they have a spot. And I know for some time, I didn't feel like I had a spot. I saw this person had this and this person had that, and it seemed like I lacked those things. But it's like, I want to know that it doesn't matter what you lack or what you think you lack, because God made a spot for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. So, and I know we talked a little bit about, and I understand how you feel because you said you do the interviewing, so it's hard to be in the interviewee spot. And I absolutely agree with you. It's like a little like, oh my goodness, this is a little different. But like I told you, it's all fun. Every time I do it, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, this is a little different. But so how has it been so far with the interviews that you've been doing? You said you launched this April 1st.
Yeah, they're been good. It's like I'm getting feedback from people. I've got one person that said, I don't know how you ended up in my email box, but the person who spoke that day, that she said, this is exactly what I needed. She was like, keep them coming. I was like, wow.
Right. That's awesome. So how are you selecting people to be those 21 interviewees?
Yeah, I've been looking them up on Google and Amazon and everything like that. I've been making sure that they are most Christians. It's because I don't want to have, because I had done one previously and I didn't make sure that all of them were Christians, and I had all kind of stuff going on. And I want to have the people that I can talk to,
Mhm.
in the audience. So I know I can talk to female Christians. And so that's why I make sure I got authors and speakers and coaches and women that are doing things.
Okay. So are you in the DMV area? What area are you out of?
I am Carrollton, Georgia.
Carrollton, Georgia. How about that? So tell me a little bit about, has there been some special topics that they've been speaking on, or what are some of the subjects that you're kind of pinpointing in your interviewing?
Because every one of them, I'm making sure that we stick to hope, clarity, and confidence. But everybody
Okay.
has a different story, and that is so neat because they tell me when they didn't lack or they lacked it. They lacked hope. Because I had one
Right.
person said, I needed to be over here, like 6 hours away, because my husband's mother-in-law and father-in-law, well, her mother-in-law and father-in-law were sick, and her husband had to drive back and forth, back and forth. So they needed to sell their house, and it didn't seem like it was going to work. So she was like, I feel hopeless and everything, but God brought him through, and it's like, oh, and then she gives like tips and tools, like this is what I did. I made a list. She gives them tips and tools that somebody could use, and I was like, oh, okay. And so then I had one person that was concentrating on prayer, and she
Okay.
was saying, well, this is what happened. I saw people praying. They prayed like 4 hours. They got up early. And then she said, God said, did I tell you to do that? And she's like, no. And, she said her life was so hopeless, but he told her to keep her prayers simple. And she,
Mm,
and she has her journal and prayer journal to show us how to keep our prayers simple. So,
love that.
I've got all kind of different issues. And I was like, it is so fun.
So where can they find these? Where are they able to find April 1st, April 2nd, when you've done this, where are they finding these interviews so they can tune in?
After 48 hours, they go into the vault. But I'll let you in a secret that when they sign
Okay.
for it, there will be replay at the end, so they can catch it at the end.
Oh, wonderful.
So we'll get like,
So you're gonna make sure to give me some information so people can get in contact with you,
oh yeah,
so they can because it sounds like you're pouring back into people in a wonderful way. And actually today doing this is kind of it's Easter Sunday. So I
yeah,
mean, how cool is that to be able to do something like that, that today is an important day to do something like that. And when you're speaking about hope and clarity and confidence, that's huge, and needed. So have you found that a lot of, and you said Christian women have been in that category where they're needing even either one of those things or all three of those things at some point?
yeah. I'm making sure that I hit every point because I know they have different points in their lives. Because I had one person, she was talking about. I looked at her and I was like, I don't even think I should ask you about the confidence part because you look so confident. And she said, there have been moments. And so
Yes.
I'm just pointing out the moments, they
Yes.
will be willing to give some advice about. And I'm getting lots of tools. I've got my notebook, and I'm
I
getting lots
love it.
of tools. So I'm hoping that the people that are watching, they should be. Well, a lot of people are telling me too. I'm getting some positive feedback saying that it's good. And somebody had missed day 2, and she had asked the same question: how can I see day 2?
Right, because I mean, and when you have something that's that powerful, or that kind of conversation, then I always encourage people to take a pad and a pen. Well, actually, I have a pad and pen wherever I go, because you never know when you're going to get some kind of nugget or something that you can use that will actually last you a lifetime. I mean, I've been on, different platforms, and it's amazing how many things you grab from, a simple interview that you hold on to and apply,
Yeah,
because that's the big part, not just to take it down, but actually apply it, right?
yeah.
So tell us a little bit. You mentioned something about that this came from a book. So tell us a little bit about your book.
Yes, I'm still finishing up the final touches on it. It is
Okay.
called Find Your Sweet Spot. And it's just my journey. It's my journey how when was at the church that I was born in and raised in, and how I heard the teaching. And then after I heard the teaching, I was like, I kind of like this teaching. But then I was torn in the middle between, I've been in this church all my life. you know, and I knew I wasn't going to get that there. So it's like, I went out, me, my cousin, my mom, we went on a journey. And the Sundays where I wasn't doing anything at the church I was a part of, we went off and we tried to find this church. And it was like, we got up to a place and it was like, all right. And we all felt cool about it, we good and everything. And lo and behold, something would happen.
Oh goodness.
Of course, something would happen. So
Right.
whatever it was that happened, I won't get into that. We found ourselves finding another place to go.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
went to another spot. And, you know, then gifts start coming out again to that place. Stuff I didn't know about, stuff I knew about coming out in greater measure. And I'm like, yeah. And then my cousin found her place, but me and mom, we were still searching because we didn't feel like that was the place. And then we got there and I was like, I got on a praise team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, I had been behind the scene in my old church. Like, this is soprano, this is alto, this is tenor, you know, sing this.
Right.
Now I'm like, I'm like, what? And then I'm listening to songs. I'm trying to get my soprano part out. Got my soprano part. And so then I'm trying to get to rehearsal. And then I'm like, okay. Everybody's trying to get their parts out of there. You know, I've never done that before. I always had a person in front of me saying, this is a part, sing it. But I'm listening, trying to find it. And I'm like, okay. So I found it. Then somebody said, hey, we're all leaders. Why don't we lead? Why don't you lead? And I'm like, I've been in the background. I'm like, I don't know, lead nothing.
Right.
And then one lady said, she said, I think that you'd be good. I don't know. I don't really sing soprano, but I think that you could do this verse good. And so I'm like, okay. I got in there and I was like, I can sing verses. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I could do this. And so there's another gift that was coming out.
Right.
And then somebody else volunteered me to be in the kitchen ministry. And I learned how to wrap little forks and knives up in the little napkins. I learned how to serve people. And I didn't realize that being kind of on the quiet, shy side, that I would be able to talk to people and say, which one do you want? This, that, you know, and I was like,
right.
I did that. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then they moved.
Oh no.
I was like, man. They're like, you want to go with them? I'm like, no, I don't want to go with them because I'm like, I was 5 minutes away. And, you know, we started doing praise and worship rehearsals. And it was like, it was getting late because we had new people. And I was like, I can't be driving that far by myself. You know, I had all my excuses. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to go traveling. And I was like, I'd been close and I wanted a church in my neighborhood. So then I went off to, you know, it's all about searching and everything where the gifts would come out, different things, you know, like, oh, exciting. And then we got to do, me and mom, we did praise and worship. And so we found this church, we were able to do praise and worship. And I was like, yes. We're like, yes. And they merged with another church.
Oh my goodness. These are all life lessons, like building you up for something, right?
Yeah. I'm like, oh my goodness. And so I'm like, we didn't like the other church. It was like, we're like, you know, hey, stand up and praise the Lord. Yay. And they were like, if you want to stand up, you can stand up. If you want to sit down, you can sit down. I'm like,
it just wasn't connecting with you, right?
No, I'm like, and so then we were like, we're just gonna sit at the house and we're gonna turn on the computer and we're gonna watch church from home. And so we did that for a while. And I mentioned that me and my mom would do praise and worship. And so this lady, she has always been good to us. She let us sing on her Women's Day program. And she was like, I know this is last minute. I'm in a bind and I can understand if you don't want to do it. I'm fine with it. She was like, my praise and worship team backed out. Can you do it? And we were like, I said, if it hadn't been her, I would say, no, we ain't doing nothing now. But it was her and she had been so good to us. I was like, I'll do it because it's her. Okay. And my mom said, well, who's preaching? I was like, she said, I have no idea who's preaching. I was like, okay. Well, I'm like, okay. And the guy preached, he was really good. We're like walking over to him. And, you know, me, when I'm going to a church, I meet somebody new. It's like, hey, bye, you know. But we were like, you did such a good job. And he was like, you guys did such a good job. And we were just back and forth and everything. And he said, you guys brought in the atmosphere. You brought in you helped me be able to preach this message because you set the atmosphere, your praise and worship. And then he gave us his card and everything. he gave us his card and everything, and we thought, yeah, we may go look at his church or whatever. And we watch it on the internet. We're like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, Then we finally went, and he said, "Hey, I have a opening. Would y'all like to do praise and worship next week?" And I'm like, "Who does that?" You come to somebody's church for the first time, and they say, "Hey, you want to sing next week?" They don't do that. They let you come,
Right.
come. And we went. I was like, he wants to answer now, so I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. We'll put that next week, and we've been there ever since.
Wow. And when was this?
This was like about 4 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
And he's the one that I started writing stuff, and I was like, if I can write consistently for 3 months, what I'm going to do is show it to my pastor and see what he thinks. I thought, well, maybe I can do a church newsletter or something like that with it. And I did. And I said, what does that sound like to you? How does it sound? And he said, it sounds like a podcast to me. And I was like, what's that? So, here's something else new coming out of me, because I don't know what a podcast is. So he's telling me what a podcast is, And so we did our first podcast. I was so excited. It's called Motivation Meditation with Leslie V.
Wow.
It's just me talking about 5 to 7 minutes. I have a different topic, word based, and I'm just talking, giving my different stories, giving it up on a down point, how I'm overcoming and challenging somebody else to overcome. I got scriptures in there and everything.
Okay.
And I was like, I didn't even know the podcast existed. So that's what I mean when I say gifts coming out of me that I didn't even know I had, because I didn't know what that is. And I didn't figure I could talk. Because I'm like, I'm behind the scenes.
Right. That is wonderful. Actually, so where can we find the podcast and follow you with those conversations?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Because it's like kingdomrock.org is going to be the best place, because that's my church. It's kingdomrock.org. And when you see that, and I could probably type it up for you later.
Yeah, put it in our comments. Spell it for me? It's Kingdom.
Kingdom Rock, KINGDOM Rock.
Okay.
Kingdom Rock. Oh my goodness, I just lost my thing.
Kingdomrock.org.
Yeah, .org. I'm like, I just lost my thing, because I can't remember my thing right up a hand. But
because I wanted to make sure that those people who are tuning in, I see Maria is tuned in with us. And hello, Maria. I put her comment up earlier, but it's KINGDOM.
Right.
ROCK.org.
Yes.
Okay, absolutely. So I'm going to put that in the chat for everybody so they know to visit and check that out. But I'm excited about everything that you're doing. And you said that was 4 years ago. So you've been doing this podcast for 4 years now?
Well, I didn't start it right away. So probably about 3 years though.
Okay. That's a long time. Yeah. Okay. I love that. So I want to encourage everybody to go out there and look up kingdomrock.org, and her name is Leslie Vaughn. But I wanted to talk a little bit before we say goodbye, because this has been awesome. And we just met each other just a couple of days ago, I believe. But because you said that this started in, April 1st, I figured, well, we got to get this out there as soon as possible so that people don't miss their blessings, because, somebody's waiting for the 21 days that you're putting out there. There's somebody that's waiting on one of those days, and I don't want them to miss it if I can help. So tell us a little bit about, because you said you have a book coming out. So we definitely need to stay in contact with you so we can make sure we support you on that mission, and hopefully it's close. You have your podcast. Or are there any other things that you're doing that are going on that you're working on maybe for the future?
Right now, these are the things I'm working on. So, and I never did give you I can give you like the website to go to the landing page for the summit. And
okay, let me have that.
Yeah. Find Your Sweet Spot series.com. And they'll land on the registration page, and they can just go ahead and partake of the 21 days.
Wow. So, this is how they log in and take care of that. I love that. So it's been such a pleasure to meet with you and talk with you. And I know I don't want to take too much time up because it is Easter Sunday. My husband and I, well, he's on the golf course because we
Oh,
don't, we're empty nesters. So we don't have little ones. My grandson is home with his parents. So we don't have Easter baskets to do and that kind of thing. But definitely got service in this morning and it's a beautiful day outside. But I am so happy to have got a chance to meet with you. And I think this is a powerful series that you're doing. Let me ask you a question. Is this going to be the last time that you do a series like this, or what do you think?
I think I'll do it again. It's like,
Absolutely.
yeah, a lot of people, they seem to be responding well to it. They seem like they're getting lots of information, and I know that I am myself learning and everything, get some of my questions answered. So
So would this be something that you annually do, or you may do it again this year?
I may do it again this year. I may
Okay.
maybe about 4 or 5 months. I may do another one. I think that I will always keep the finding your sweet spot because I think that's kind of like my brand. But the
Yes.
tagline it will probably change from summit to summit.
I think that's a great idea. I love the finding your sweet spot. I think that's awesome. So I thank you so much. Now I wanted to let everybody know where they can reach you. I'm not sure if you're on social media or what are your hashtags and things like that, but share with everybody where they can contact you and follow you so that they can stay in touch when you have these kind of things going on.
Now, right now, I'm new to all the other stuff. So right now, just finding that on there, and then you kind of email on me. I'm at lesliev08@gmail.com. That is
Okay.
an email address that you can reach me at, and
Wonderful. So I want to remind everybody she has a series going on for the whole month of April. I think it's 21 days. She's interviewing different women, Christian women. And the title of the series is Finding Your Sweet Spot. Hope, clarity, and confidence revealed through God's purpose. And we also shared the email. She shared her email, but also the website where you can go is www.findyoursweetspotseries.com. She also has a podcast and a book coming out, so she's staying busy even in the middle of COVID. She is not missing a beat. But thank you so much. I know we shared my special reasons why April is a great month.
yeah,
But so I wanted to add that into all the people because most of the people who maybe tune into my magazine and my show know that April is a huge month for me. So in addition to all the other things going on in April, you all please check out Leslie Vaughn and see what's going on, and actually make sure you bring your pen and your pad, because she's not just asking you to tune in and watch, but to actually apply some of the things, take some notes and apply them, because the whole mission is, like you and I have actually talked about, is to inspire, enlighten, and
yeah.
empower people to, be better than they were yesterday, to make their dreams come true, live in reality, and do the best you can do. I mean, nobody's perfect, but every day we can learn something new and make it a better place for not just ourselves, but each other. So I appreciate you coming on here to do a DSM exclusive.
And don't forget to let them know to make sure they stay tuned because you're going to be coming up in that series too.
Yes, I'm excited about that. I don't know what day yet, but yes, it was a quick yes because I love what you're doing. And the title spoke volumes to me. I knew when I read that and you sent me the email that I couldn't figure out a reason why would I say no to something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you got something good. When it's like when you tell people, you don't have to say a lot about it, but when you say it, they're like, of course. I mean, why would I say no? So I'm glad that we connected, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So you all stay connected with Leslie Vaughn, and if I have more information, I will definitely push it out to Dove Style Magazine and my Luncheon with Lisa crew. So thank you so much, Leslie, and we look forward to talking to you again. This is going to be great. So congratulations to you on everything.
Thank you. Oh,
Yes, so I want everybody to tune in. Remember, you can go find this video on my YouTube channel, Lisa Dove Washington. Also, it will be housed on my Dove Style Magazine page, which is www.dovestylemagazine.org. So we look forward to seeing you, and have a wonderful and blessed Easter. and be safe out there. We still got a little ways to go, so hold on just a little bit longer. But we're going to get through this, and we're going to get through this together. So until next time, we'll see you again. Hold on, Leslie. We'll be with you in just a minute, so hang tight.
All righty.